Back to my channel. Copper Dragon's here, and I'm going to be playing some more KNACK 2. So let's hop right in. And I know I haven't released a video in a couple days, but I just didn't have the time, you know? I just didn't have the time to release a video. Um, but yeah, I'm going to continue the game,
I wish
today.
they'd stop treating me like a child already.
They care about you.
I know, but
But honestly, I don't understand a lot of YouTube drama anymore. Like, it just seems like, oh, it was so overly abundant since January of last year. It was around that time, anyways. And now, it seems like, ew, everything that should be talked about isn't talked about. And then they are too selfish to admit the things that they were obviously
love to break things,
incorrect
don't they?
about. They are too, like, they are too much of weasels to admit that they were wrong about that, for if they actually incorrectly got something incorrect about some kind of drama that they talked about. Like, that is something. They are too much of weasels at that point. And honestly, I honestly stopped caring about that crap. Because it's honestly so stupid anymore, because everyone's just become weasels, mindless weasels when it comes to that stuff. They just take one side, regardless of how obviously correct it should be that you're on that side. They just take that one side,
it's a
and
landslide.
just stick to that.
We'll need
They
to
don't
find a
even
way
bother
around.
apologizing if they misled people or whatever. That is something that I cannot stand. Like, if you made a mistake, own up to it. That is not that hard to understand.
Think we can squeeze through here?
That is
Narrow.
literally something that should make us human. And yet, people are too much of weasels to do it. Like, they are too much of weasels to not admit to their own wrongdoing or misleading people. That is something
The
that I
entrance to our
cannot
mind is up
stand.
ahead.
Like, if you make a mistake, own up to it.
Greetings, youth leader.
Otherwise,
Greetings,
you are
Garrett.
the biggest weasel
Careful
ever.
on that. Goblin sightings are on the rise.
Through here, huh?
And sadly enough,
The old
not that many
battlefield is on
people
the
want
other
to own
side
up
of
to
this
their
mine.
mistakes anymore. Sadly
So-
enough.
Abandoned.
Xander shut it down years ago. He believes little can be achieved with metal weapons.
I don't know. They sure come in handy when you're fighting goblins.
It's something that I noticed about a lot of posts on the internet revolving around couples, is that if they were to kiss each other any harder, they would have to classify as a cannibal at that point. If they were to kiss each other any harder. Like, bro, I've never even had my first kiss, and yet I know I wouldn't go that hard. I know I would never go that hard, and they act like Flint Lockwood having his first kiss with Salmon and Cloudy with a chance of meatballs. Except more of the puff in his face, in just directed towards swallowing the other person's face at that point. Like, if they did that any harder, they would have to classify as a cannibal. Hey, they might as well just call up Leatherface at that point, considering they're obviously very alike.
Seems like we need some kind of weight to open this gate.
We were trying to keep the goblins out. Doesn't seem to be working, does it?
Like, I don't see the point of making posts about your relationship or whatever. That always annoyed the crap out of me. That always annoyed the crap out of me. Like, I understand doing it like something meaningless every once in a while, like something that's not too big or too flashy every once in a while. But going out of your way to doing it like how a lot of people do it these days on the internet, yeah, that's where I draw the line. Where they're basically just shoving each other down the windpipe of the other person involved. That is where I draw the line at that point.
Hey, relics all over this place.
Like, if you can't be without your partner for 10 seconds, why post about it online? That
That'll
just
do
makes
it.
you look incredibly selfish and ignorant at that point. If you can't be without your partner for 10 seconds, maybe keep that off the internet. That is honestly what every couple should do.
Wow.
It's called private
impressed.
moments for a
It's
reason.
a little trick I taught him.
Those kinds of moments are called
Look at
private
Sharp, Knack.
moments for a reason. They're not meant to be shown to the world. They're supposed to remain private. That's why they're called private reasons. That's why they're called private moments. They're not supposed to be shown off to the world. They're not supposed to be shown off to anybody who would even pay attention to it. They're supposed to remain private. So the fact that people can't understand that is so baffling to me. It is proper English at that point. And yet people can't even understand that. And that is honestly the most baffling part for me. Like the fact that people can't even understand or grasp the concept of basic English is honestly pretty sad. Like if you can't understand or grasp the basic concepts of English as an English speaker, yeah, that just shows your ignorance over anybody else's. Like, honestly. That just shows you're more ignorant. If you can't even understand the basic concepts of a language, you're most likely gonna end up speaking. Or gonna be native to. If it's your native tongue, learn how to speak it properly before, trying to judge others on how it's supposed to be said. Like, I actually have very good English skills. So, don't just say, oh, you are being very hypocritical at that point. No, I am not. I actually have a very good grasp on the English language, which is my native tongue. So don't say, oh, I don't have very good grasp of it. Or some bullcrap like that. Whenever I clearly do. Like, come on. Do you think I wouldn't know my native tongue? Like, which is sadly something that's way too uncommon anymore. And it just shows the incompetence of people anymore. Sadly enough, it just shows their level of incompetence. Yeah, I'm gonna have to find some more of that metal stuff. Okay, it's an XP thing. Might as well just grab that for the skill tree. Considering, skill trees are basically the cornerstone of gaming by now. And honestly, as much as I hate skill trees, they are pretty fun to, try and finish out. Like, as much as I hate them as a concept, Because while unlock a lot of the basic skills of the game behind a skill tree. That never, like, there's a lot of basic concepts in the game that are locked behind a skill tree. Like for example, there are some games out there where you can't even jump without a skill tree. Like you need this skill tree, to, you know, jump. And try and tell me how that's not supposed to be stupid. Try and tell me how that's not meant to be stupid. Like, come on. There's no way that's not obviously stupid for a multitude of reasons. Wait, am I supposed to do this? Okay, at least I can actually do that. But honestly, something that people on the internet should learn is learning how to keep private moments private. I mean, that's the whole reason that they're, you know, called private moments. Is because they're meant to stay and remain private. And yet, sadly enough, people can't seem to understand that. Especially on the internet. Sadly enough. Heck, that's the main reason why, if I ever got into a relationship, I'm keeping it off the internet as much as possible. You know, for obvious reasons. Well, that one was on me, that death. At least I'm actually, you know, getting down that super punch, or whatever you want to call it, down. At least I'm getting that down pat. Wow, do I need the metal for everything here? Because, good lord. How are normal humans supposed to get through those gates? Like, come on, how are the humans in this universe supposed to get through the gates if I need metal to get through them? Like metal the size of a giant golem. Like, I need that. Wait, hold on. Like the size of an 8'10" golem. If I need that much metal to, you know, use those gates, how are humans supposed to use them? Like, honestly, that just makes no sense. How are humans supposed to use those gates? Okay, at least I'm making it through now. With pretty decent progress. But how are humans supposed to get through those weighted gates? if it takes enough metal to turn an 8'10" giant ancient relic created golem to turn into a giant 10'6" behemoth. How is that? How are normal humans supposed to get through that? Like, there's no way a human is over like 8 or 9 feet tall at the world record holder for the tallest humans. There's just no way of that. And that's at the record holder for tallest humans. Like, there's just no way regular, everyday humans are gonna be any taller than that.
KNACK! Over here!
Yeah, you don't think I know how to get through a gate? Please ignore the fact that I tried to get through the gate beforehand, before getting that metal on the pad. Please ignore that.
Whoa, it's so cold up here. Should have listened to Charlotte.
It's just a bit further, Lucas. You'll be fine.
Come on, guys.
That's strange. The machinery is operating. How odd.
Well, honestly, I think this might be a place for ice snack. In all honesty, because that's where this is where it would make most sense. For obvious reasons. And if you can't see how that's obvious, yeah, I'm seriously considering that you might need your eyes checked.
Thank you, Agent.
If you can't see why it would be the best area for ice snack to show up. You seriously need either glasses or to have your eyes checked. Which you would need your eyes checked either way for glasses. Either way. So the whole glasses side of that literally makes no sense. Wow, the sunstones are honestly way too powerful. They literally keep you from taking damage. If that's not meant to be powerful, if that's not supposed to be overpowered on top of the regen feature, what's supposed to be overpowered in this game? If I literally have, where I'm basically immortal at this point. Tell me that's not overpowered without telling me. Telling me that's overpowered without telling me it's overpowered.
Looking good.
Did I already go over here or something? It feels like I already went through over here. I already went through over here, so kind of redundant to go back. Oh, I was supposed to go over to the door.
Keep it up, KNACK!
Honestly, I really
So
hate the quick
strong.
time event aspect
That's
of this
not for
game.
you.
Like, it's creative, sure, but I don't really like it, you know? I never really enjoyed the quick time events because of how many there are in this game.
Ice is
Sure,
nice.
it's creative, but still.
Cool look.
Either way, it's counterproductive. Considering they weren't in the first game. I can go check out the playthrough I have on the first game. If you want to see, test it out, to see if if there are any quick time events or not. Jesus Christ, why are there so many enemies relating to my one weakness here? Being fire. considering ice is obviously weak to fire. Just look at Pokemon, for example. Well, at least I can actually get through it without the ice. At least that's something. And also, please do not expect me to, give my thoughts on the Minecraft movie just yet. I still haven't seen the movie. So do not expect me to give my thoughts on the movie just yet. But I have seen a clip where Technoblade was referenced, and that's honestly a pretty good thing on Minecraft's end. That's pretty good. That's a pretty good concept on their end. Considering how much Techno had meant to the Minecraft community as a whole, on top of the influence he had on top of it. So, good on them for actually, putting a reference to one of the largest Minecraft creators in the movie. So, good on them. Especially whenever you consider, he tragically died to cancer about almost 3 years ago, I believe. If I'm remembering correctly. I believe it was I believe he passed away in June of 2022, if I'm remembering correctly. I may be wrong, and I apologize if I am, but at least they put a tribute to him in the movie. That's a good thing. Oh, am I supposed to use... Oh, that makes a lot more sense. I'm surprised I didn't test that out too. Well, at least I actually beat these enemies here. I actually scratched that. Wait, never mind. That wasn't me. That was just an object. It's in the background. I just thought since it was zooming in, I thought it was some kind of enemy. Oh my god, I hope this doesn't... I hope I don't have to cause a genocide of some creatures in this game. Honestly, I do not want to turn into, funny mustache man, if you know who I'm talking about. Failed,
We're getting close now.
Austrian
Just a
painter
little bit
himself.
further.
I honestly do not want to turn into him for obvious reasons. For many obvious reasons, for that matter. I did not know that you could freeze enemies in this game. I did not know that. Well, might as well just do some kind of combo. Well, that was honestly the best that I could do. I know it wasn't the greatest, but still, the best I could do. Yeah, I know I'm not the best at gaming, but I'm honestly striving to, try and reach that point, I know I'm not the greatest, but hey, might as well just strive to, try and be at that point, at that level. I know I'm not the greatest, and that's not anywhere near soon that I will be at that kind of level. But I'm working to strive to that level. I've had it since I was a kid. I had that kind of goal since I was a kid. So, yeah, at least that's something. Everyone has a goal. Right? Everyone does. Even though my goal is kind of like a stupid one. Think about it for long enough. But it is still my goal. He did that battle without dying for once in these 2 games in this series. At least I can do that. That's something.
Goblins cut the bridge!
You think I can't see that? You think I don't have functioning eyes? God, Lucas is so annoying. I would rather be stuck in a room full of mass murderers looking for their next victim than what I would being trapped in a room with Lucas.
The place you seek is up ahead.
Thank you.
Honestly. That's just truth. I know that. It's very messed up.
There's the
Truth.
battlefield. See the old cannons?
I see is snow and rust. Think we'll find anything?
Let's get over there and see.
Well, I know I'm getting pretty close to that 30-minute minimum. At least that's something, anyways. Yep, I knew I was right. Honestly, YouTube drama is so stupid anymore. Everyone just milks the crap out of it.
I wonder what's true.
Like, it's just pointless to
I don't
talk
know.
about it anymore because of how much
I
it
bet we
gets
can find
milked
out.
to death. Everyone just enjoys milking crap and more than a cow. Everyone just
behind
likes
me,
milking
isn't it?
crap more than a cow. That's how YouTube drama, that's how internet drama works anymore. People just milk it more than a cow.
It's huge!
And that's honestly pretty sad if you ask me. Like, don't they have anything better to talk about than, oh, Mr. Beast drama hard 10,000 or some bull crap like that? Like, don't they have anything better to talk about? Like, come on. Like, I know Mr. Beast is a scummy human that associates himself with way too many predators for anybody's liking. Heck, one is more than enough. Let alone how many Mr. Beast has associated himself with. Like, it's honestly, like, I get it. He's a terrible person. Like, I get he's done a lot of terrible things. And honestly, please don't bring up, oh, what about the good things he's done? Because he's honestly done as many bad things as what he's done good. I mean, come on, do I need to bring up Beast games, that one guy they called Delaware, Ava Chris Tyson. Do I need to bring up any of that? Because frankly, that's way worse than anything he's done supposedly good. That's way worse. The fact that people just meet right him saying, oh, he's done a lot of good things. Yeah, but he's also been a greedy, manipulative scumbag just as much, just to try and derive people away from the bad things. And he's done only the good things to try and derive people away from the bad things he's done. That's pretty obvious.
You're all waking up now. What's going on?
Like he's just trying to, you know, do good things, just to try and draw away the bad thing from being in the spotlight. That's pretty obvious. But my thing is, I'm all about stuff like body positivity, but whenever people try and take it to the point of, you know, abusing their body, like just for cheap likes, views, and attention, that's where I draw the line. Like, honestly. Or just a few quick dollars. That's honestly where I draw the line. I get body positivity is a good thing. I get that, I really do, but taking it to the point of using it for your own benefit, that's beyond where it should be taken to the point of being body positivity at that point. That is just being a manipulative narcissist at that point. That is all that is and all it will ever be. I mean, come on, look at Clara Duo, or whatever her name is, or that one lady who tried to sue Lyft just because she couldn't fit in the car that she ordered from Lyft. Look at those two examples and try and say, oh, they're not a manipulative narcissist. Try and say that to those kinds of people that use their bodies and their weights to try and get what they wanted from them.
They're attacking the village. KNACK, you've got to hurry.
Like, that's honestly something I cannot stand, is whenever people try and use their bodies for their own benefits and using nothing else that's even worth, you know, calling honest. Like, all they are is just being a manipulative narcissist. That's all they are, and you cannot deny it at that point. Like, there's just no denying it at that point. They're just a manipulative narcissist. Plain and simple. Heck, that's literally what I gotta say about, you know, a lot of these OF creators or whatever. They're just as bad as the manipulative narcissists, but they're using their body to manipulate others into subscribing to their OF or whatever. That just makes them just as bad, you know? And also, I think OF models are way worse than that, considering they like involving, you know, actual kids to promote their crap. Or sometimes, for creators that are involved with the Bop House, they like using kids in their content. Which is even worse than already using them to promote that garbage. That's worse than using kids to promote that crap. Actually using them in said content. That is even worse. I mean, come on, look at the Bop House, for example. They're literally using a 17-year-old in their content. And they already have her in a backlog and everything. Like, honestly, that is disgusting on so many levels. 17-year-old on an adult-only website. Try and tell me how that's supposed to be legal in any way. I mean, come on, it's like one of the last lines of that one spider lady from Gravity Falls. If there's men like whatever, if there's men like that, then there's gonna be a lot of prey. Like, come on. But the same could be said for either gender at that point. They're just preying on the innocent at that point. They're just using their body to try and promote whatever they want. And that is just incredibly messed up on so many levels. Which is honestly why I'm against stuff like, you know, being in, you know, the adult industry in that way. You know, being in the sex industry. That's why I hate that. Because they're just using their bodies for their own gain at that point. They're just using someone's body or their own body for their own gain. Nothing more, nothing less. And there's no defending it either.
It's worse than we feared. Do you still want to help us?
Honestly, I like this version of KNACK
Definitely.
better than the first games, but for the human characters, I think it was a serious downgrade. For the human characters, it was a massive downgrade from the first game.
I know it defies logic, but there has got to be a
Because the
reason.
first game,
We are
at
both
least they had a
experienced
unique
engineers.
charm
We
to
can
them.
work this out.
In this game, there's nothing memorable about them or their designs.
Yeah, I'm okay. I just can't get those poor people from the village out of my mind. I wish we could figure this out.
The doctor and Charlotte don't seem to be having any luck either. And with the number of robots they built, you'd think it would make some kind of sense to them.
Yeah. But they didn't make these robots.
No, that was that goblin, Uruk.
Right.
Actually, I was thinking
Ava,
about something I learned.
do you know where Uruk actually created these weapons?
It was in the High Goblin city of Targan. No one knows where that is.
There is one person who can find anything, and can give us a lift.
Well, those guys could use some cooler heads. What?
As my favorite uncle.
Your only uncle?
Sure, sure, but,
Stop. Whatever it is, I'm in.
that's why you're my favorite uncle.
Yeah, I know.
Honestly, Ryder is
for
honestly the best character in these games. Like, besides KNACK, of course. You know?
This is the closest we could land.
Like, sure, in
We'll
the
have to do
first
the
game he
last bit on
seemed
foot.
kind of like a horn dog,
It's
but,
so
you
hot.
know, in this game he's actually
Why would the
he's
High Goblins
actually
choose a
has
desert as a
some
place to build
good
their city?
morals, too.
It wasn't always a
about
desert.
it.
Come on, guys.
This heat is ridiculous.
We're in the desert.
Well, I'm going to end today's video here.
I'm
Be
shriveling
sure to like and
You just
subscribe.
need
I'll
more
see you in the
training.
next video. Bye-bye.